This past year, we helped Ray-Bans grow their Amazon sales by 608%. I want to walk you through how we did that and how you can do the same yourself. But for starters, I know I'm a stranger on the internet, so who the hell am I? My name's Yona, and I'm the founder of Amazon Growth Lab. I've been in the Amazon space for over 10 years, scaled and exited my own brand, and since I've helped hundreds of brands do similarly. We now work with companies like Ray-Bans, Mavi, Anchor, and Brooklinen. These are brands that are doing hundreds of millions, even billions of dollars a year. Now, a lot of people ask me, do you have to be a massive company in order to be successful on Amazon? Quick answer, no, you don't. How do I know that? Let's look at some of our clients. Thrival Muscle Recovery. They're a small company. That being said, this past year, we grew their organic sales by 630%. After 7 months, we got them to doing $327K a month. Hope Love Shine. They're a jewelry brand. After 4 months, we rose their organic sales by 408%. We took them from a little less than $200K a month to $620K a month in sales. The only difference in ad spend, $4,100. Ernst Grain. This past year did $10 million in a year. Within 90 days, we grew their top line revenue by 20% with profitability. Now, I want to walk you through how you can get similar results yourself. So today, I'm going to show you how to 10x your Amazon sales. The things we're going to focus on, 1, how to not be reliant on ads. That will be the biggest thing to differentiate yourself and ensure your margin doesn't cease to exist every single year. 2, how to 10x your click-through rate. Getting traffic to your listing is crucial. Without getting people to actually see you, you're invisible and you obviously won't get any sales on Amazon. Lastly, I want to walk you through how you can 4x your conversion rate. Just because you're getting people to your Amazon listing doesn't mean you're going to succeed. If they're not clicking the buy button, it doesn't matter. So, most sellers never break 7 figures. Why is that? Any guesses? You're pretty quiet. Okay, let's dive into it. Brands that are doing 6 figures, for the most part, are ad driven. They're relying on ads in order to get sales. They're never going to become a big player that way. Brands that are doing $10 million, even $100 million a year are doing something radically different. They are organic driven. What does that mean? For starters, let's take you through the traditional funnel. This is a flawed approach, but this is what most sellers and agencies are doing. You can see they're running Amazon ads. They're doing basic SEO optimization, AKA they're changing your titles and your bullet points, which FYI in 2025 isn't really SEO anymore. And then bam, you're just expecting that suddenly Amazon sales are going to come in. What's the problem? When I started selling on Amazon 10 years ago, the average price per click was 5 cents. Now, it's closer to $1.50 to $2 depending on the industry. What's going to happen in the next 3 to 5 years? I'm sure you're smart enough to see the problem here. Every single year, your margin is going to continually erode if you are reliant on advertising. So what's the solution? Organic visibility. Now, this is the billion-dollar question, though. How do you go about getting organic visibility? This is a formula that we built that if you follow it to a T, almost guarantees you're going to get organic visibility on Amazon. So I know this flow chart looks complex. It's actually pretty simple. Let's dive into it. For starters, whether you're an existing brand or you're launching a brand, to no surprise, the tactic is a little different. So let's talk about a brand that already exists because you have data and it's a little bit easier. The first question is, are you retail ready? What does retail ready mean? 9 times out of 10, when we ask a brand if they're retail ready, they say yes. That being said, they usually aren't. Retail ready is broken down to quantifiable metrics. The first question, do you have a 20% click-through rate? That means out of all the impressions that you get, both organic and ads, are at least 20% of people in which you're populating clicking on your product? If yes, great. We can go to the next step of the funnel to see if you're retail ready. If no, you're already not. The next thing is we need to look at your conversion rate. We need to be sure that your conversion rate is 4 times higher than the market average. Now, when it comes to conversion rate, we can use Product Opportunity Explorer, which is an Amazon Seller Central tool, to see the market average conversion rate. We can then also look at search query performance, also a Seller Central tool in Brand Analytics, in order to figure out how does your conversion rate compare to the market average. Let's break it down pretty simply. Amazon doesn't care about you. All they care about is what is going to make them the most money. And they break it down to these quantifiable metrics. If you both have a 20% click-through rate and 4 times better conversion rate than the market average, you will be telling Amazon, hey, look at us. We are the 1% of the 1%. Essentially, if you're doing better than every competitor on the market from a conversion standpoint, you best believe Amazon's going to reward you. It's not rocket science. So let's take a look at a real life example. When Ray-Bans came to us, they were getting no clicks. We look behind the scenes and we see, hey, out of 500,000 impressions, you're only getting 1,021 clicks. For the record, no need to get out a calculator. That's a 0.2% click-through rate. We need to get it to 20%. So what does that mean? We need a 1,000x their click-through rate. So what do? First, you run a consumer insight report. You run a survey to your target demographic. Here, just to Amazon Prime subscribers that are men, but you can choose to do it to women, people with kids, whatever is relevant for you. You essentially want to run a survey, and we want to blur out the reviews, the brand name, the ratings. We just want to know from a picture perspective, are people going to click on your product? So we ask, if you're shopping for insert product here, which product would you click on and why? Not only is it obvious Ray-Bans is getting 0 clicks, but we get, 2 to 3 sentences with responses from each customer in what they liked about the competitor and why do they not like our product. From here, maybe we have to change the product packaging. Maybe we need to just, tell more of a story. So we make 60 to 70 different image options, run them against one another, figure out which one's the winner between all of them, and then voila. Eventually, if you do this enough times, you'll have an image from a statistical perspective that is going to get more clicks than the competition. Until you get there, you're not going to succeed on Amazon. Now, that just got us clicks, right? We also need to convert. So what do we see with Ray-Bans? They were getting a 2.15% conversion rate, slightly better than the market average, but we want to be 4 times better. So unless they're getting a 6 to 8% conversion rate, they are not going to be a market leader. So how do you go about raising your conversion rate? The 4 biggest levers we have are reviews, infographics, A+ content, and pricing. Let's take it one at a time. First, we're going to talk about reviews. When you get 200 reviews, on average, your conversion rate doubles. When you get 1,000, it roughly quadruples. So what's the quickest way to get 1,000 reviews? There's an Amazon program called Vine. Here, you are able to get reviews in return for giving away free products to a customer. With 4 SKUs, we can get you 208 reviews in 45 days. We have brands that we've gotten over 2,000 reviews within a month and a half. So, what are the other levers we have here? Within Product Opportunity Explorer, we can see what the customer review insights are and the market purchase drivers. This is information straight from Amazon where they are walking us through what exactly your customer wants to hear. When you're using the exact terminology of the customer in your infographic, you best believe you're going to convert better. So you apply these to your visuals. Within every single infographic, we want to be sure we are hitting on a key purchase driver that we know from a data perspective is being looked for and use the exact wording. Next, we can do URL listing tests and brand experiments. For those of you that don't know what brand experiments are, this is a way of testing your main image, your A+ content, your infographics, title, description, bullet points. Essentially, every Amazon shopper will see a different listing. We can show different attributes and figure out what will convert better and what will convert worse. What do I mean? Here's an example where we ran a split test for a backpack cooler that we brought to the market. Now, the only difference between the 2 Amazon listings was the main image. One of them had a 12.4% conversion rate. The other one had a 0.02% conversion rate. The numbers are pretty small because it was for launch, but you can see within the first 30 days, one of the listings generated 28.5K, while the other one didn't even generate 7K. What do you think happens when we test the A+ content and then we test the infographics? And week over week, month over month, we are making changes that are changing our conversion rate. The results compound, and you get to a point where eventually you're 4 times higher than the market average. At that point, we can start to focus on advertising. You can see in here, advertising is one piece of the ecosystem. Until we accomplish everything up here and we ensure that our listing is retail ready, we are not ready to even talk about advertising. Advertising budgets will be really minimal until we are locked in. So we went through a couple things that can really start to move the needle for your business. That being said, we're just scratching the surface. We're not believers in a one-size-fits-all solution. So next steps, fill out the form below, get your free audit today. What does that mean? Our team will spend 3 days diving into the ins and outs of your market and figure out how can we move the needle and help you grow exponentially on Amazon.